Here is my sound advice for this week. I want to talk to young people again, mainly young men, because again, I don't tell young women what they should do because I've learnt my fucking lesson. Here's my sound advice for this week. Get a mentor, right? I've seen over the last generation a massive push for self-esteem and teaching kids that they can be anything they want to be. First of all, you can't. If you're 5'2", you can't be a fucking basketball player. If you're 7'4", you can't be a fucking astronaut. If you're dumb as dog shit, you can't be a math genius. If there's just certain things you can't do. Stop being so fucking, you can do anything. No, you can't. You can't. And you shouldn't aspire to be anything you want to be. You should aspire to be what you're good at, and you should aspire to do what you love, and you should aspire to you have to be specific, and that's what annoys me, right? So, that's not me being a prick. That's just me letting you know life's a prick. Your genes are a prick. Some of your social some of your life, like the social arena, is just going to be a prick. Some of the people listening to this think they can take on life themselves, that they can solve life's problems themselves, and that anything they face is able to be overcome just by wanting it enough. And some of them are right. There are some people that can do extraordinary things by themselves. Absolutely extraordinary things by themselves, right? And they don't need the help of other people. Let me tell you something. You are not one of those people. You know how I know that? Because I'm not one of those people. And Sam's definitely not one of those. No. But people think that because of this, I can be anything I want to be and I don't need any person to help me. Most of you, that's not true. And again, I'm not being a prick because I'm in that boat. I need people in my life and in my mind that can provide the answers to the questions that I have and lead me to the right direction to find the answers that I need. Those people are called mentors or womentors, if you're one of those feminists. Did you like that? Even Ash hates it. I'm going to give you a few reasons that you need a mentor. A, because you don't have all the answers. It is just as simple as that. Yeah. And this is one of the reasons that I do the book review every week. Just talk about a book. Because books and look, YouTube videos are good, but books are a lot better because you are forced to spend more time thinking about and processing the information relevant to that subject. You don't have all the answers. B, because the men and women that have gone before you have survived, thrived, achieved and pushed boundaries, and they have the answers that you don't. And it is evidenced by that fact. The reason we have phones, the reason we have the theory of relativity, the reason we have the germ theory of disease, the reason we have washing machines, microwaves, box lights, computers, cans of mother, beer, vapes, all of that shit. People have gone before us, and it's not necessarily what they have done. It's the method they've used to get there. So, pushing forward despite adversity, never giving up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All those things. C, because we are all followers and some of us are leaders. But because we are all followers, we need to be smart and wise about who we follow. Here's the deal. You are a follower. It is just as simple as that. You follow trends, you follow themes, you follow fashion, you follow whether it's Honda or Suzuki or Harley Davidson, whether it's you like this beer or that beer, or you like this footy team or that footy team, or you like this political party or that. We're all followers in some sense. And so because we are, most people don't realize that they're sheep, and so they end up following someone that leads them down the wrong path. They think they can handle what's happening, but they can't. So they get a shit mentor, or they get someone like a cult leader. They get someone in their life that completely fucks their life up because they don't realize that they're following the wrong person or theme just as a consequence of being human. D, because the only way to become a master is to accept the role of the student. And this takes humility. It takes humility to admit that you don't have all the answers and that you need someone to teach you how to go and where to go and what to do. You need to accept the role of the student, and that is for the rest of your life. And that's what I've done. Sometimes I get cocky and I think I know the answers, but then again, every experience of assuming humility is a good thing. Like even when, like in my new job, my new boss, he's a bit of a, I love him. He's a great guy, but to me, he doesn't seem like the best leader. But again, I kept my mouth shut and I just followed his lead. And that's the best thing to do. He's not going to be my mentor. Like, and people have got different mentors for different things, but we'll get into that. Because some people are such specialists in their field that you need to know what's in their mind. If you want to talk to someone like, what's his name? Lawrence, I can't remember that physicist's name. If you want to talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson about astrophysics, or you want to talk to what's his name? Bill Gates about computer coding and shit like that, or making a business, or you want to talk to the people that I spoke about last week that are the master of one field. You want to go to them and you want to say, look, I want to learn this and I want to learn how to do it. And you will find everybody wants to. It's especially with men. Men want to teach. They want to project what they know onto the next generation, because there's nothing more fulfilling to the ego and to the sense of they're doing something good for the world. If you ask to be taught, you will be taught.
Oh yeah.
It's as simple as that. Yeah. People love that shit.
Yeah.
Now, and you want to get the people that are really, really, really good at what they do. The next one is because having a mentor, not a messiah or a savior, but a mentor, will help you deal with the unpredictability of life as that unpredictability escalates. So when you were a kid, shit was unpredictable, but it was controlled by the fact that you had the safety net of your parents in your home, right? Mm-hmm. When you're in school, shit comes at you but it's all on the kind of train tracks. When you get out of that, life fucking changes, man. You're on your own and you got to fucking deal with life. And so having a mentor really helps you deal with, so for example, if you've got an emotional mentor that you can talk about relationships with, or you have a technical mentor that you have conversations about, if you're a mechanic or a coder or something like that. You need different mentors in your life that apply to the different aspects of your life. And the last one is, it fast tracks lessons that you need to know to succeed and avoid constant failure. Look, you can learn the hard way or you can learn the easy way. Not the easy way, but the easier way than making all the mistakes yourself. Because all the people that are masters of their field, there's a quote that I love by Winston Churchill. I believe it's him. You never know the internet these days. And it is success is moving from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm. Yeah. Right? Now, if you actually live by that, and I try to live by that, dude, I fail all the time, but I just keep fucking going. And then eventually I will feel success.
Yeah.
Right? And so if you can get someone in your life that has made the mistakes that you don't want to before you then can stand on the shoulders of giants and make those further mistakes and then teach that to the next generation, right? You hear those crickets?
Yeah, they're very loud.
Yeah. So shut the fuck up, bro. Stop trying to get laid.
Can you hear them?
Yeah.
I'm asking the audience.
The mic's not picking it up. Anyway.
Okay.
Maybe it is. So here are some of the mentors that I have that are known maybe to you. Jordan Peterson, Jocko Willink, Joe Rogan, Chris Voss, Robert Kiyosaki. The lessons these guys have taught me. Jordan Peterson, get my own life in order before I try to change the world or expect it to change for me. The importance of speaking the truth. To appreciate my cultural history of Christianity despite being an atheist. To voluntarily, and this is really important, this is so important, to voluntarily accept the burden of life instead of having to deal with it anyway with a bad attitude. So important. Jocko Willink, be disciplined, move forward despite hardship, own my own mistakes, do not shirk responsibility or try to avoid blame. Joe Rogan, discipline, how to think and discuss issues, the importance of repetition and practice and practice and practice and practice. Chris Voss, how to negotiate, the use of tactical empathy, to listen and understand before replying. Robert Kiyosaki, he's got a book named Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he talks about what is and isn't an asset or a liability. And another thing really, really important that I learned from Robert Kiyosaki is work hard, but not for money. Work hard, but not for money. And you will find that if you work hard on your chosen vocation, you will be, by an order of magnitude, way above your competitors. So here are some of the ones that you don't know, from, I'm just going to name two, just from my own life. One of them is Nick Karras, which is, a mentor that I have. He's in the security industry. He taught me the importance of protocol. And you've got to do what you do the right way.
Yep.
And you've got to be smart about it. You can't just go in there as a hard-headed bouncer and think that you're going to change the world. Absolutely. You will fail absolutely every time. And if not this time, eventually it'll catch you.
Yep.
You will get caught out. So he's very, very careful about how he works and how he runs his business. And another thing I learned from him is the super importance of hard work and the benefits of that hard work. Another mentor that I had, and shout out to Ben Watts, that's the guy that was fucking with me in India.
Oh, yeah.
Another mentor that I had that I really want to give a shout out to is Ben Watts. He taught me a few really important lessons when I was a lot younger, and here they are. Not having people in my life who cause drama in my life.
Yeah.
Right? So I learned that when I was 19 years old under his tutelage, and dude, that changed my life. Just that single sentence changed he said to me, I don't have people in my life that cause drama in my life. And it blew me away. I completely changed what I did after that. And all through my 20s, it was really good to have friends in my life that did not bring their problems onto me. Just hold on. I got a drink. I got a sore throat. The next thing he taught me was the importance of being loyal, worthy of trust, and reliable. Another thing he taught me, because I was a young man at the time, I just finished high school when he was my mentor. Don't be late, be on time. And I really mean that, be on time. Like, he taught me that, and I didn't understand how important it is. If you're late, you look like, you just look useless. And look, be late if you want to. I don't give a fuck. I'm not your mentor, and I'm not your dad, but
I hate being late.
Yeah, you will look unprofessional and untrustworthy and unreliable. If you can't be there on time, if you can't be trusted to look at a watch and follow it accurately, no one's going to trust you with anything else. The importance of using your head with your heart. He taught me that. Wait, what?
No.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Fucking this drongo over here. So he taught me the importance, because like I remember when I was going through a relationship problem with my girlfriend, and I called him up and I said, look, what should I do? And he goes, look, man, you've got to do what you're going to do. And if she wants to come along for the ride, sweet. And I thought, fucking oath, because I can put her first, but what happens if we break up? And what happens if X? And what happens if Y? And what happens if Z? You got to do what you want to do. And then for me, the woman that wants to come along with me, if she wants to join in, sweet. And it's the same with her. She's got to do what she wants to do. And if I align with those goals, fucking nothing can stop us. I learned that from him as a mentor. Another thing I learned from him was, leadership means that you can't show the people that you are leading that you are freaking out, even when you are. I really learned that with him, and you have to stay calm, because if you start panicking as the leader, everybody under you will start panicking, and they won't trust you. They won't think you're competent. They won't know what you're doing, and you'll immediately lose your position of leadership.
MC Piggy once told me.
Huh?
MC Piggy once told me, one of my mentors, Bacon, he once told me, I would never ask my staff to do something I wouldn't do myself. And that
absolutely,
that very much, and that's something
absolutely
that he first said to me when I first managing, and it has stuck with me forever. Someone throws up on the floor. If you're not willing to clean that up, why would you ask someone else?
Yep, absolutely.
You know, someone does something bad in the toilets. If you're not willing to do it, don't ask someone else.
Yep.
If you're not willing to do put the hard yards in, if you're not willing to do it yourself, don't expect others.
Absolutely. Even to the point where I remember when I've seen leaders in my life do, like, I remember, because a lot of the Christian ministers these days, they like sitting in their office and just getting up and preaching, but they don't like the hard work involved in running the church, right? Yeah. And I say this as an atheist, but that's just my life experience. I remember seeing the minister of my church, Warren McMartin, down at Faith City in Wodonga. Say what you want about the church and him, whatever, I don't care. I remember seeing him pick shit out of the gutter not shit, but just stuff out of the gutter and like out of the drain because the drain was clogged. Did it with his bare hands. And I'm like, this guy's willing to work because he comes from the country in a hard generation as well. I'll finish soon. Just give me a sec.
Yeah, you're all right. Yeah.
Now, another thing I learned from Ben was you write down a list of the shit you have to do that day and you knock them off one by one. Write things down. He really taught me that. He also taught me by accident that people will leave your life. People will do things that it disappoints you, but it wasn't their intention to disappoint you. But that's okay because you'll be fine. And here's what I mean. I really looked up to Ben, and I still do. Like, I reckon he's a fucking champion. But when he left, he moved to Queensland to go into financial planning. When he left, I lost my direction.
Yeah.
You know, in church and because I figured out that I was in it for the wrong reasons, and that's why I left. But he was a very magnetic leader, and there was no one in there that was kind of the same. And so, for me at least, I needed someone to really guide me. Because I was 21, maybe even 20, but I think I was 21 20 when he left. No, 21, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, very young and kind of, I came from a sheltered childhood, and he left, and I was disappointed. But then I figured out that's okay. That's okay. You know, life happens, and you got to grow up, and hard shit happens. You know, and so he also taught me about. One thing he really taught me. I remember it one day. So when you're a leader in an organization like a corporation, you're holding people's wages over their head, right?
Yeah.
I remember he told me one day. So he asked me to do something, and then one of the sub youth pastors told me to do something. So I did what the sub youth pastor did, and then he said, "Why didn't you do what I asked you?" And I said, well, "This other guy asked me something." Now, I said, "Look, man, you got to tell me who has more authority here, you or him." And he goes, "Listen, man," because he doesn't hold. He's dealing with volunteers.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's how you get real good leadership, dealing with volunteers. So he said to me, he goes, "Listen, man, this is not about who has the most authority. This is about you and me and him working together to get this done."
Yep.
And that completely changed my paradigm of dealing with people. It's not about me coming down hard on you saying, "I've got the authority and you have to do it," because they can just walk out.
Yeah.
You're not paying me money.
Yeah.
Right? He just said, "Look, do you believe in this? Yeah. Do I believe in this? Yeah. Does he believe in this? Yeah. Then let's work together.
Yeah.
Let's sort this out and let's work together." And I think a lot more leaders would do a lot more good if they thought of things that way. And the last thing that I'll say that he taught me, I remember when I was, I think I was 18, and I was feeling ashamed at the fact that I was wanking and to porn, right?
Yeah.
Because Christianity really kind of tries to shame you about that. And so he said to me, I wanted to have a chat with him, and I was dumbstruck in the genuine sense of the word. I couldn't say it to him. And I was really silent for a while. And he just said to me, he goes, "Look, man, nothing you say is going to surprise me." And that made me feel so comfortable because I knew that he'd heard it all. And like, I remember the senior minister of the church, even my parents, et cetera, all these people that think they can handle it. You say something to them and they freak out. You know, when you're talking to your parents and you go, "I did drugs." "What the fuck? I fucking. Like, you got to just relax, you motherfucker. Just relax. You have to be able to handle anything. That's why if someone comes to me and says something that they think is going to shock me, it doesn't shock me. Because I've seen so much dark shit. And so now I just think that people, when they come to me and talk, they have to know that I'm not going to, "Oh my God," and judge me.
Yeah.
And judge them. I'm not going to judge you. Okay, so you're fucked up. So blah, blah, blah. Is it yellow or red yet? Okay, sweet. But I just think that you need a mentor, because you listen to all that shit that I learned from these blokes and women, especially in my life. You listen to all that shit. You need to know different shit that they know as well. You need to get a mentor.
Yeah.
Because it will absolutely make your life. Is it yellow or red? Yellow? Okay. We're talking about the battery for those guys who don't know. So you need to get a mentor in the field that you want to be good at, whether it's a psychologist and you're going through emotional issues, or a counselor, or you're trying to make YouTube videos and you need a mentor doing that. You need to be taught. Life is about learning. Life is about learning how to learn. And if you don't have a mentor, if you think you can do it all yourself, okay. We'll come back to you in 5 years and find out how good that goes for you, because you'll be further along if you've got the drive to do it. But if you get a mentor, you will absolutely crush your chosen field.
Yeah.
Get a mentor.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, we've all had mentors.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Absolutely.
Even if it's your soccer coach.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'll tell you a couple of times some of my mentors have given me some great advice.
Definitely do
I
it.
had a soccer coach one time and we were running laps and we didn't have such a fit person on our team. Now, we had to get the 5 laps done before we could go do some proper fun training. So we all wanted to smash the laps out and we'd all sprint as much, but we'd leave the unfit kid at the back. And he would the coach would grill us. You have to run as a team. You have to run as a team. And the main point was you're only as fast as your slowest player. No matter what you do, if it's soccer, if you're at work, if you're you're with a relationship, you're with your partner, you're with your kids, you're only as fast as your slowest person. Every single person is on your team. You need to work together. So there's no point getting angry at that kid for...
Yeah, he didn't choose to be weak.
Yeah.
Or slow.
Run with him. You're a partner. You're a team.
Yeah.
Do those laps together.
And doing that?
Yeah.
Doing that also gives him that kind of emotional energy to run faster.
And I think it teaches something a lot at work, even in your work life, at home, anywhere. You're only as strong as the weakest person on your team. And you need to work as
only
a
as strong
team.
as it.
Now, if you individually ask the weakest person to lift, he's not going to lift much.
Yep.
If you lift together as a team, even the weakest person can lift a lot.
Yep.
If you work as a team, even the weakest people on your team will lift a lot more than if you ask them to lift alone.
Yep.
And that's what my soccer coach, Billy, told me as a kid. And from then on, we always ran as a team. Never let anyone behind. It's kind of like the wild buffaloes. They'll run together as a group, and they'll run as fast as the slowest one.
Yeah, because they need to.
Yeah.
They need to.
It goes back to one of my mentors at work telling me that I'd never ask staff to do something that you wouldn't do yourself. That's just another big life lesson. Obviously, my father taught me a lot as a kid. Father's a great mentor. Some people don't have fathers, but fathers can also be a great mentor. Taught me a lot about morals and the way you should behave, and even if something makes you angry, try and see from their side, etc., etc. But I think it's beautiful. You should always have a mentor. You should always have someone who knows a bit more in their field. And like you said, if you spend 5 years without a mentor trying to do something, you may succeed or you may go further. But imagine how far you could go if you had a mentor as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.